You know, for what feels like forever, the entire crypto conversation was dominated by one thing: the Ethereum Killers. These competing blockchains all promise to be faster, cheaper, and just better. But now it's 2026, and you might have noticed, it's gotten really quiet. So what on earth happened?
And that's the big question we're tackling today. Why aren't we all talking about the chain that's finally going to replace Ethereum? Did all those projects just fail? Or did the entire game just completely change while we were all watching? That's exactly what we're going to break down.
To really get what's happening now, we have to rewind a little. We need to go back to the original problem, the fundamental challenge that created this whole competitive race in the first place.
It all boils down to this concept called the blockchain trilemma. And it's actually pretty simple. Think of it like this. You want your network to have three things: decentralization, security, and scalability. For years, the rule was you could only pick two. You wanted to be super secure and decentralized like early Ethereum? Great, but it was going to be slow and expensive to use. Wanted it fast and cheap? No problem, but you'd have to sacrifice decentralization. You just couldn't have all three. And that trade-off, that was the opening every single competitor was aiming for.
And boom, this is where the so-called Ethereum Killers burst onto the scene. Chains like Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, their pitch was simple and honestly really compelling. They basically said, we figured it out. We can do it all on one single chain. We're going to be faster, cheaper, and we won't have to make big compromises. Their goal wasn't just to compete, it was to straight up replace Ethereum by hitting it right where it hurt, its speed and its cost.
But here's the twist in the story. While everyone else was busy trying to build a bigger, faster, single-lane highway, Ethereum did something totally different. It decided to reinvent the whole road system. And this pivot is the key to understanding everything.
See, Ethereum just stopped trying to solve the trilemma on its own. Instead, it went modular. The main Ethereum network, its one and only job now is to be the most ridiculously secure and decentralized foundation on the planet, period. All the action, all the fast, cheap transactions that you and I do every day, that stuff gets moved to a whole ecosystem of layer 2 networks built right on top. So yeah, think of the main chain as a super secure operating system, and the L2s are all the different apps running on it.
And this wasn't just some idea on a whiteboard. Not at all. As you can see from this timeline, Ethereum has been on an absolute tear, upgrading relentlessly. You had the merge back in 2022, which massively cut its energy use. Then the Dencon upgrade in 24, which made using those layer 2s dirt cheap. And it just keeps going. Every single step was a deliberate move to make that base layer stronger and make its L2 ecosystem unstoppable. Which brings us to this pretty definitive statement from Ethereum's co-founder Vitalik Buterin in early 2026. He basically dropped the mic and said, you know, the trilemma isn't some theoretical puzzle anymore, it's solved. Not in a research paper, but with actual live code that's running right now. The message was clear. The game has fundamentally changed.
Okay, that is a very bold claim, for sure. But talk is cheap, right? So what does the data actually say? Let's do a quick reality check on the situation here in 2026.
Well, the first thing you always do is follow the money. And when you look at where capital lives in decentralized finance, the picture is, well, it's not even close. The Ethereum ecosystem, that's the main chain, plus all its layer 2s, is holding on to about 58% of the entire market. After years of competition, the vast majority of high-value activity still trusts Ethereum security. And this table really tells the why behind that. Sure, you look at Solana and it's incredibly fast, with fees that are practically free. But look at that first metric, validator count. That's the number of computers securing the network. Ethereum has over 1 million. 1 million! It's an order of magnitude higher than anyone else. That represents a deep, deep focus on decentralization, and that has become its biggest strength, especially when you're trying to attract serious institutional money.
I just want to pause on that for a second. Over 1 million validators. That is not just a big number. That's a global, decentralized fortress. That scale of participation creates a level of security that is just incredibly difficult for anyone else to even dream of replicating.
And the best part? The modular strategy is actually working for everyday users. This chart shows a massive migration. By 2026, something like 99% of all user activity is happening on the layer 2s, not even on the main chain. So the vision is a reality. The mainnet provides that ironclad security, while the L2s deliver the fast, cheap experience everyone wanted. You get the best of both worlds.
So what does this all mean for those Ethereum killers? Well, it means the war is over. Not because they lost, but
but because the entire battlefield has changed. We've just entered a totally new era.
The old way of thinking was winner takes all, that there could be only one chain to rule them all. But the reality in 2026 is a multi-chain world. The industry has finally grown up and realized that no single blockchain can be the best at everything. So the name of the game isn't replacement anymore, it's specialization.
And this is where those former killers are finding incredible success. They aren't killers, they're specialists. Ethereum has cemented its place as the global settlement layer, the digital bedrock for big, important transactions. But then you have Solana, which is just crushing it for things that need insane speed, like trading and consumer apps. Avalanche is building out custom solutions for huge companies. They've all found their lane. They're not trying to kill Ethereum anymore. They're building powerful, specialized economies right alongside it.
So, the Ethereum killers are quiet because the whole conversation has changed. It's not about replacement, it's about coexistence. But that leaves us with one last massive question. In a world that moves this fast, is any kind of dominance really permanent? Or is the next big paradigm shift already brewing just under the surface? What do you think? Is this the stable, multi-chain future we've all been waiting for? Or is this just the calm before the next storm? I'd really love to know what you think, so drop your take in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe for more explainers on the tech that's shaping our world. Thanks for watching.